All right, we are live. Welcome back to Blockchain Buzz episode 16. We've been away for about 2 weeks now, guys, because things get crazy, but we are back with, of course, the one and only Rue Black from Rue Black Podcast, the Crypto Rue Podcast, and welcoming to Blockchain Buzz, Moon Feather, Moon Rising, Mooniverse. I'm going to put your channel up on the screen. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself and your channel. And there's a channel, guys. Make sure you go hit the subscribe button and let's get her channel growing here. Let's get her to 1,000 subs. That's the goal here.
Oh my gosh, that would be such a blessing. Well,
Absolutely.
welcome. Well, I'm extremely grateful to be here. Welcome to everyone who's in the chat. Um, uh, if anyone hasn't met me yet through Ruel, my name is Moonfeather. I am a energy reader. But above everything, I'm a mom. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a crypto investor as well. And I have my own show where I do astrology. I'm not an astrology expert, but I love to read the energy. I'm so into it. And, and I mix it in with financial astrology as well. And it's been something I've been doing for the past maybe about 2 years, I think, maybe 2 years. And and I'm excited to be here with you guys. And I can't wait to share what I have because the energies are just so amazing. A lot of wonderful things are coming through. And I'm just here to share that with you guys.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Rue, what's going on, buddy? We don't talk enough.
I know. It's been a whole 2 hours.
I know.
No, man, it's been a nice weekend here. Getting into some ZBAC stuff. I just made a quick 3 minute and 33-second video on Zebek. I'm just trying it out new. Like I know my subscribers really love the deep dive live streams where we go like 3 hours. But go ahead and check that out. Kind of summed up the news for Zebek for the last month, all in under 4 minutes on the channel there, and I did some nice collaborating with friends this morning. You might have heard that the Coin Vault. Have you heard about the Coin Vault? There.
It sounds like some handsome guys over there. I get that feeling, right?
All I have to do is pitch it and you knock it out of the park, bro. There we go.
All right, let's see. I got a couple of people starting to come into the chat. Blake, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Mirdid, what's up, buddy? Team Future in the house. Dave, what's up, man? Let's go, guys. Let's go. Got more ZVEC today. Well, I mean, that is classified as a win in my books. Moon, what is your top 3 crypto picks?
Let me see, which are my top 3? Oh, wow. Well, first and foremost, it's XRP. And then, I kind of was back and forth with Zebek, but then I'm definitely convinced XX and XPR Metallicus is definitely up there. I'm crazy, like in my channel with my Vibe Tribe, we're crazy about the X's. It's reflective of the Roman numeral number 10, and that's the year that we in. 2026 is a 10/1 year. So, and this is definitely in my belief, in my opinion, that this is definitely going to be the year where we're going to see a lot of these real world actually, I was going to say real world assets. You need to excuse me because it's Mercury retrograde, guys. So your girl here is a Gemini, so I'm going to get things twisted up. So think crypto that really has really good utilization, that it's, they are ISO 222. They're definitely, I think, really gonna do amazing things for this year. So yeah, I would say those are my top three.
Nice, nice. Yes, we actually just did about a 49 minute video over on CoinVault. We recorded today covering Metallic and XPR. So that one will
Oh,
be
that's
out next week.
awesome.
What else do we have? Blair, where you been? Good to see you back. Dave, what's up, man? DH in the house. Choosy beggar. What's happening, man? I hope we drop more for Zebek. What do you think, Sir Rob? Yes, I do think the market has another leg down to go personally. You guys know, I think we're going down to about 50 to 55, consolidates, and that's where accumulation, heavy accumulation, in my opinion, for me personally, will really start to take center stage. So Dave says, Rue, what's up, brother man?
What up, Dave?
Dave says, hello, Mooney.
Oh, who's that? Oh, what's up? What's up, guys? Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Meredith says, Rue's a hater. Nice. I only hate on Rob. There you go. I'll allow it. All right, so let's start with you, Rue. What's going on, man? What you've been looking at lately? What you've been talking about over on your channel, and what's the sentiment in your community?
Well, I think we all think that XRP might be coming back alive. I went over the whole thing about William Shatner and XRP. Like the connections are so crazy there. If you look at the whole bearable guy 123 riddle, the bear is sitting in a chair that looks like an exact replica of William Shatner's from Star Trek. Shatner's like the spokesperson for X Money and Elon Musk there. We also have X Money being kind of backed by Cross River Bank, where the whole operation is Cross River Bank backed, and Cross River Bank is the bank of XRP, it's the bank of Uphold. So ZBAC also uses it. The Shatner, like all the things with Shatner are so weird. He even starred in this like radio drama called The Curse of 589. We all know the whole 589 thing with XRP. Um, he even there was one other thing here with him. There are a couple other things. He was in a commercial with a purple rocket, and there's a purple rocket in the riddle. Shout out to Moonfeather in the show where we broke down that whole riddle. I think we were spot on in that. I think the market, specifically XRP, might be bullish come St. Patty's Day. So we got a
Yes.
couple days to St. Patty's Day. I'm looking at XRP, and usually when XRP moves, as we all know, XLM also moves too. So I'm not discounting that. I'm not forgetting that. I'm also not forgetting Zebek, which we know Simon Balkani is speaking at XRP Las Vegas. So there's been a couple things going on where I've been looking at all that stuff, but I'll release the floor.
Couple things. I'll release. Couple of things.
I'll yield the floor.
One, your boy is 90% Celtic. I don't know if you knew that or not. So St. Patty's Day, baby.
Oh, nice.
Number two, let's get this down. Are you guys coming with me to Vegas or not?
I don't.
When is this? What's going on? I don't know what's going on in Vegas.
XRPL.
Oh, they're having another what do they call that? Like a forum? They're having another forum, or what is that?
Yeah, they're having another like big conference. Brad Garlinghouse is going to be there. CEO of Zebek is going to be there. And the CEO of Zebek, he's going to be a keynote speaker there. It's April 30th through
The first.
yeah, May 1st. And even though people might not notice about me, I am a part Irish myself. My mother had like red hair and freckles, even though, you know, you
I
might
could see
not
it in your,
see that. You
I could see
might
it in
not
your
see the
beard.
red hair or the freckles looking at me, but trust me, it's in there.
I think
Um,
I think I saw red hair in your beard.
but yeah, so yeah, that's happening in Vegas. I'm trying to think if I want to go or not because I just started something new and I don't know if I can, you know, uh be separated from that new thing yet. But yeah.
Bring your laptop. Let's go. Road trip. Road trip. I gotta fly, but road trip. You guys are only like a 4-hour drive, aren't you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I will be at the Bitcoin conference, and then immediately after that, I'm gonna stick around for the XRPL Las Vegas event. So
That's wild. I didn't even know about that event. I didn't get the memo.
damn it, Brad, he didn't email you.
I didn't get the memo, but the date is very, very interesting. I'm big on dates, right? So just to give a little of background as far as my investing, and getting into crypto, I've been investing into XRP since 2021. So I'm a newbie. I'm fairly a newbie, right? But um, I'm very attracted to it because anything that has to do with numbers, money, I'm just really good with it, right? So people that I've known that have come in, they were hardcore with XRP and they left, really ended up regretting it because we know XRP has really advanced a lot since then, you know, and the fact that last month Rue and I we were doing that decode on the Bearable Guy 123 Christmas meme, and we broke it down even before all of this news came out with William Shatner. We were breaking it down and we were, and the thing is that his community was so engaging. They loved it. And I'm fairly new to the whole meme thing. I know it's a movement. I had no idea how big it was. And then I picked up on a lot of things. And then I picked up on that astronaut that's holding the bagpipes and then the arm that's sticking out, giving him some beers. And that's how we came down. I was like, listen, that reminds me of St. Patty's Day. I told Rue on the show. He's like, oh my gosh. And then he said, and well, maybe that, gives us some answers as to why Brad was wearing, a St. Patty's costume for what, in 2023, something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? So then I get into looking into the dates and stuff like that. And that, which is just coming next week, which I would love to touch on, right? When you guys are ready. But the fact that Brad is holding, they're going to have that XRPL conference. Yeah, there goes the meme. We broke it down. Like if you see on the panel, just really, really quick, if you just look on the panel, and I was like, Rue, the first thing that I recognized, because I have a thing for patterns, right? So then I was like, well, Rue, if you count the squares, that's 589. There's 5 yellow, 8 purple, and 9 green.
That's right.
Right. And then I said, look at the books on the board, on the switchboard, their transparency. This is what, the Clarity Act. And I said the Clarity Act and the transparency with blockchain and XRPL. And I said, watch, you're gonna see one day a meme is gonna come out and you might possibly see those books solid. And I think it'll be after they pass the Clarity Act. And of course you see the switch is on which position. I was telling the audience, look at the switch is on which position. It's on the on position.
Yeah.
And and then we always hear, flip the switch. And the whole 589 that's on the floor, it looked like it's in marble, but it's it reminds me of the quote written in stone. Like it's written in stone already. So, will we see XRP go up to $589? $5.89. I would prefer $589,
Right.
So yeah, that was a really fun time, a really, really fun time. Well, like I was saying, right, that you mentioned the conference that is going to be on April the 30th, and I have been screaming from the mountaintops, like since months ago, about how, first of all, XRP is a Gemini coin because it was launched the 2nd of June. And which year? I have my notes. I don't have it. I always forget. It's a lot of numbers. But I broke it down, and it's a Gemini coin during Gemini season because it was launched during Gemini season. It's also energetically tied to the number 8 in numerology. And the number 8 is the number of wealth. It's karmic. If you think about the infinity sign, what goes around comes around, loops around, as above, so below, things like that. And I was like, of course it would be the number 8, because it's the number of money. It's a very, very lucky number. And so to get to the date, April 30th, that's very significant because I've been telling people, watch how there's going to be a shift towards the upside when it comes to XRP after the 26th of April, because the planet Uranus that is presently in Taurus, okay, and if we have time, we'll break that down. I was breaking it down last night on my live. But it's going to transit, the planet Uranus is going to transit into Gemini. Remember, Gemini is also tied to XRP on the 26th of April. So if you add 2 plus 6, that's 8. So I was like, okay, that's very interesting. And then now, lately, the news, I say as of last week or the week before, we're hearing Brad talk about, about the Clarity Act that, we're it's definitely going to be select. First, he says 75% it's going to be passed by the end of April. Then they went to 80%, then 90% by the end of April. So I was like, okay, they're all aiming for when Uranus transits into Gemini. Because first of all, Uranus does not do very good in Taurus. This is why we're seeing what we're seeing going on in the world right now. Why? Because Taurus is an earth sign, right? And it has very strong ties to everything that has to do with the earth. So when you think about the earth, it's talking about metals, gold, silver, which we're seeing all of this craziness, right? With the spiking of gold, and it's going through the roof. Also think about oil, which I also spoke about oil for some reason, because like I said, I'm an energy reader, and this energy was coming through as of late January. Something about oil, like invest in oil, and I wrote it in my show, and I told everyone, you could even that's when the USOR crypto came out. And I think it was like was it 000008? I can't remember. And just a couple of days after I mentioned it, it shot up, right? But then now we're seeing like the whole thing with the oil because of the war that's going on. And then it's going to affect food and things like that. So that's the energy that Uranus has with Taurus. They end up butting heads. But that transit, when Uranus finally transits into Gemini, it does amazing. They're like best friends, Uranus and Gemini. Gemini is air. It loves innovation. It's technology. It's communication. It's AI. It's crypto, and then Uranus is breakthroughs. It is innovation. So this is the fact that they're going to have this conference on the 30th. it's not a coincidence, because there's a saying that Ru says, and there's a saying that I say on my show, that millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. And that is so true. They absolutely use numerology and astrology to make their moves.
And by
Sorry
the
for the
way,
rain.
that's confirmed, accredited to JP Morgan. Okay,
Yeah.
JP Morgan of JP Morgan Bank. And if you can bring that meme back up one more time. And guys, maybe you guys don't have any background about the bearable guy who makes these memes. He has like 6 years of making these memes, and there's a whole
Wow.
community, right, in XRP that breaks these down,
Yeah,
along with
he's
a
been
few.
he's been yeah, he's been making these for almost as long as I have been holding X. I've been holding XRP for 8 years. He's been making these, like you said, for like 6 years. So this isn't new by any stretch.
Right. So, and there's a whole community that breaks these down and has shown with some great accuracy that they're very accurate. And definitely go on my show and check out the how we broke down the whole William Shatner thing. When he made this meme on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve of last year, there was no mention of William Shatner with XRP. There was no thought that he was going to be in an X Money commercial. So he
Mhm.
nailed that. He nailed that, 100% nailed that before it even happened. So he clearly is someone in the know about what's happening with XRP. Also, Shatner being in a commercial where they have this purple rocket, this exact looking purple rocket, he clearly has some inside information. I just wanted to show you the thing that we were talking about with the beers and Brad Garlinghouse. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And someone else asked who is the meme from. I'll show you guys the account just so you know. Bearable Guy 123, and he has a whole history of these memes going back, like I said, like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
Every Christmas Eve.
I remember that Christmas one with the stockings and stuff. Yeah, that was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yep,
2022.
2022. Yep. So.
Really? Wow. I thought it was this past Christmas.
No, I remember watching breakdowns of that one, the Christmas one there from 2022. It didn't seem like that long ago, but yeah, 2022. So I wanted to. I found that interesting because at the same time, looking at the XRP chart, I mean, we're seeing a bull pennant take shape here. So I mean, the breakout on this, if we did get a move to the upside, you're looking at a move of about at least back up around the range of $1.72 to about $1.80. So that's a significant little move. RSI is still in neutral, below 50. It's like 48.76. So all indications say, you know, that would be a juicy little move. That's a 21.98% move to a 28.25% move for XRP.
So
So
what if we can get back to $2? How much of a move is that?
back to $2.
Yeah.
$2 is going to be from where we are now. 42.23% move.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a significant level. $2, obviously, not only being a psychological level, but I mean, you've got resistance here, support here, right? So you've got some significance in terms of in terms of liquidity ranges as well. So I want to get back into the chat a little bit here so we don't fall too far behind. Blas says, I've been around every day, just not engaging a lot. I can't stop watching the alpha you put out, boss. Thank you so much, Blas. Blas has been with me for probably 4 or 5 years now. Well, no, 3 years.
Wow.
3 years, sorry. I've only had the Patreon for about a year and a half or so, but I mean, I was doing one-on-one coaching Zoom calls with her back when my channel first started, just trying to help her out and stuff like that. So she's been with me since the beginning. John, blessings, my friend. Jazz me for the win. I swear I was looking around the astrology aspect of cycles yesterday and planning to learn. There you go. Well, make sure you go subscribe subscribe to the Mooniverse. I'll put it up on the screen again here. Make sure you go subscribe to her channel so that you can stay up to date on everything she's doing, guys. Having goosebumps. Rob, sir, thanks for bringing this wonderful guest. Guess that's my answer to learning something in terms of, there you go. There you go. Surf money's in the house. Skip that and that. Yeah, Blaz says millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. She said that she put that in the chat just before you said it.
Wow. Awesome.
Blaz asking you, Moon, she says, what other coin did you invest in based on astrology this past cycle? Also, as a newbie, no, sorry, this chat moved on. As a newbie, what should I learn first in astrology to help with my crypto journey?
Thank you for the question. That's a very powerful question. Why? Because first and foremost, in my with my vibe tribe, I'm big on always saying to them, it's about learning who you are first, right? Going on that journey, learning who you are, learning your birth chart, your numerology, getting to know who you are, right? And by doing that, you're able to read the energy because everything that's happening within, it's going to reflect in the cosmos. We are the cosmos, right? So there might be certain cryptos, right, that I resonate with because they vibe with me, they vibe with my numbers, but then it doesn't, somebody else might be like, nah, I'm not feeling that. Okay, that's perfect. That's wonderful. This is why I say, know thyself first, right? So then when you're able to read the energy of what's going on when you're in the market, when you're just living your everyday life, you're able to pick up on the energy, right? Because that's what everything is frequency. Money is currency, the current, it's frequency. And you're going to be attracted to certain, certain projects. And then other ones are like, nah, But as far as me, right away, it was XRP right off the bat. I resonate with it. It has the same life path number as me. It's the same sign as me. And when I break down my name in gematria, my last name comes out to XRP. I was like, oh, well, that's not a coincidence. Which, by the way, guys, if you look at my latest story, last week I had to register my truck, right? And, I'm just going in to DMV. Y'all know how stressful, if you ever had to go to DMV, how stressful it is, right? So I'm just trying to stay focused and everything. And it's my turn, and there's about 30 attendants. And then my number gets called. So everything is random. My number is random. Everything is random. I sit down and I have this amazing conversation with the lady behind the window. So as she's getting all my paperwork, my ID, my payment and everything, I see a license plate sticking out, just halfway. And of course it's upside down. And I was like, I see a number and I said, that can't be my license plate. And I asked her, I said, excuse me, is that my license plate? And she takes it out and she goes, yeah, this is your license plate. The last 3 numbers is 589.
I knew it. I knew it. Nice.
Okay. The last 3 numbers, guys, go watch my story. I posted it. I had to post it. It was just wild. And that's confirmation. How spirit is my higher self, right? Spirit is the most high, my ancestor, my guides, who lead me on this journey, right? That for me is confirmation, right? Yeah. So that's how and listen, people might think, well, that's kind of flip-floppish, that's kind of like, a little too much woo-woo, going with your intuition to invest in it's all a risk.
Yeah.
So why not align yourself, right, with what vibes with you,
Yeah.
right? So, like I said, XRP, XPR for sure, that vibes with me. And a couple of other X cryptos, which I absolutely love, and that's how I base my investments. And they've all worked out for me. Thank goodness. I mean, I've had to endure some pain, which everybody does.
Right.
Yeah, we all did that. Yeah.
We do, but that's a learning lesson. And I'm like, oh my gosh, God help me. It's like, oh no, well then next time listen to your intuition, because I always realized that when I took a loss, I wasn't listening to my intuition, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I get it now. I understand now. I was like, all right, so let me just do what I got to do, what's best for me. And as I always say, I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I do go in and I give people my insight, just to see how my little crazy mystical world works in my mind, so.
Yeah. Brock says, very excited for the final token unlock tomorrow for ZBEC. Yes, me too. I really don't think it's likely that we see it, but when I say it, I mean a dip. It would be nice if we saw a little bit of a dip when that happened, but I don't think we will, unfortunately. If we do, I know what I'm buying tomorrow, but I digress, right?
Right. Tomorrow also, the Ides of March. Interesting. Always something usually goes down on the Ides of March in the crypto world. They love the whole Julius Caesar birthday assassination thing.
This chat wins the stream. Ruel White AF podcast. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's him, Mike.
Yeah, it's Mike. It's Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Nice.
That's a friend of mine, guys, so he could do that. Anybody else, I'd be mad, but he could do that.
Elon Muff in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Oh, look at that. We got Shook in the house, too.
Shook.
White Rue in the house. Well, Rue is part Scottish, after all. So
nice.
Elon,
so, I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just reading some things. Toby says, serious question. Whose house hippo would win in an 80s style WF cage match between the three of you? Probably Ruse, because he cheats. He feeds it steroids. So, I mean,
it's not steroids, Rob. It's creatine. It's creatine. It's different.
Oh, you're into creatine? Creatine is awesome, guys. Creatine is awesome.
It is. I take it along with the protein powder. It's nice.
If you guys don't know what he's talking about, every once in a while we get the House Hippo pump going, which is a commercial here in Canada from the 90s. So I'm going to show it to you guys real quick. We need the House Hippo pump anyway. We haven't played it in a while. So this is from the 90s. And I played it originally because I feel like it relates to crypto in a sense that the point of it is that it's important to research what you hear. Don't just believe it at face value, no matter how convincing it may be. So that's why I originally played this, because it is very relevant to new people in crypto, right? But it's a commercial from the 90s. This is awesome. Check it out.
It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV. And
See, that's why it's important to think about what you're reading in crypto Twitter and do your research.
I want a house hippo now.
You know what? They do kind of look like they're
They're
cute.
so cute. I love it. It reminds me of the song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. That's wild because, listen, we're I have a strong feeling that, we're going to see an amazing pump for altcoins towards the last quarter of the year. So that's very timely, very timely.
Absolutely. Shook says, is the Mooniverse in the house? Is that Mooniverse in the house? Nice. Let's go. Yes, absolutely. Shook, we got to get you back on maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, brother. We got to get you back on the show. Let's go Zeebs to 3 zeros. Yes, exactly. Let's go Zebek 3. If we can go down to 2015, 2012, that would be absolutely fantastic for me. But I'm a selfish guy, so I want to buy more. So what can I say? Mike, aka Elon Muff. There we go. Oh, Elon Muff. We love it. So what do you guys think? Which direction, I'm going to ask you first, Rue, which direction do you think we're going in? I'm seeing a lot of people calling for 80 to 85K. I've said that it is a possibility, but with Bitcoin being in a bearer flag the way that it is, I don't think it's probable. And the more I'm seeing people calling for it, I mean, the fear and greed index is almost back to neutral now, for crying out loud. All that tells me is that we're about to go in the opposite direction. What do you think?
You know what? I'm going to say up, but I like your reasoning. Like normally when you hear people talking one way, it is probably going the opposite way. I definitely agree on that. But here's the thing. So, of course, the breakdown we had of the bearable meme there, of possibly us going up on St. Patrick's Day 317. There's also some Shatner stuff with that, where Shatner was Curse of 589. There was a leprechaun there, and Brad Garlinghouse, leprechaun, all of that. But also Tether minted, I think it was $1 billion of coin here in the last couple days. That's their first mint in like a month, and that's probably why we saw Bitcoin go up. I think it continues, and also I'm hearing, I forget who said it. It might have been Lummis in the thing that we were doing earlier, Rob, that we might get clarity before the end of March. So if we can get clarity before the end of March and something happens on the 17th, up is the direction. I'm thinking we go.
Okay, well, let me, I'm just looking at the Bitcoin chart here for the Bitcoin conference last year. I'm looking at the price action for last year. Right. So the Bitcoin conference was May 27th to the 29th. So let's have a look at that. I just want to go off the history of what Bitcoin has done in previous, because if memory serves me, usually we see a downward price action, not upward price action during the Bitcoin conference, but I could be wrong. So the May 27th, that would be right here. So flat. So we kind of we didn't really do anything. 27, 28, 29. No, we didn't do anything in that window of time. Really. It's kind of boring and sideways. Maybe that's the same thing that happens this time. Boring and sideways. Let me see what 2024. Because I'm pretty sure, maybe it was 2022. I'm pretty sure 1 year recently we saw a big dump during the Bitcoin conference, Might have been like 2022 in a bear market, but let's go back in time and see, man. Also, you're not allowed to disagree with me.
Damn it, I didn't read my contract.
Yes.
Oh man, I didn't get the memo on that, Rav.
July of 2024 will be right here. So July, we had July 25th to 27th. All right. July, here we are. 25th. We had a bit of a pump. This was it right here. Right, yeah, 25th to 27th. A bit of a pump. We saw about 4.20% move up for Bitcoin from 65.5 to 68.3, we'll call it. $3,000 move. Yeah. So I guess it's kind of been uneventful for Bitcoin over the last couple of years during the Bitcoin conference.
Mm.
Interesting. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, I guess, given our current market, the way it's been playing out, it wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin just went sideways. It's been going sideways for, I mean, this whole time, right? We saw this consolidation bear flag. We saw the drop. We've got another bear flag forming. That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to drop down into the target zone, guys.
You know what? This is gonna really impact that contract. I really think we go up. Another reason too, Sailor, he just bought some more Bitcoin. Now,
He buys Bitcoin every Monday.
that's true. That's true. However, I think we go up until the whole sell in May, walk away thing, because everybody believes that, we have a little dump in May. And then as far as astrology goes, we have a solar eclipse in August. So I definitely don't think we go up all the way till August and keep going. So we definitely need a down point in that time. And I'd say it'd probably be May.
Well, I have made that point the last couple days that that you just made there, that usually we see a dump in May and then we just tread sideways and it's boring until about the beginning of September, middle of August, right? So I could see, and that was my argument. Like I said, I do think it's possible we go to 80 to 85K. There is a CME gap between 83 and 84 as well. I say it's possible, but structurally on the chart says But a bear flag has about a 70% chance of playing out to the downside, which means it has a 30% chance of playing out to the upside. So there is a 30% chance that we go to the upside. And it's funny because one of the last times we spoke, I believe on the Blockchain Buzz, we were talking about the blood moon and how it usually has a violent move to the downside whenever there's a blood moon. However, the day of the blood moon, Bitcoin went to the upside. I believe this was the candle here, a massive monster green candle we saw. That was, I believe it was this. Oh, you're not even looking at my screen. Here, let me share it.
Yep.
I believe it was this bad boy right here, the day of the blood moon. We saw a monster green candle. And I was like, I remember sitting there thinking to myself, well, we didn't go down, but it's fascinating that we did see high volatility nevertheless on that day.
Yeah. And if I'm the devil's advocate, my own opinion here, I know Jake Claver with the whole domino theory, oil is up. Oil's like almost at 100 a barrel. And with that whole domino theory, I think it includes a, tether basically depegging. And if that happened, Bitcoin would definitely probably go down because tether and Bitcoin are really linked. Because could I see something like that happening? I mean, that is a part of his domino theory, and oil is spiking up pretty high here. So yeah, if you're wanting to be nimble and think of both cases where it could go either way, well, oil could could have us go kind of down. And also, I was looking at something today where the dollar, the power of the dollar is actually increased here recently, which usually that's not as good for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's going up, so it's really crazy.
So translation, you've abandoned your position and you agree with me 100%.
I would say that people, you gotta be nimble. You gotta look at both directions. You never want to be like, okay, I got it figured out. Either way could happen, and we're giving you both scenarios. I hate to be that guy, but you know, you're how does the saying go? You're only failing if you don't plan or something like that.
Well, and here's the thing. That's something that I get into a lot is that, especially when it comes to charting, it's a people, and if you're new to crypto, you really need to hear this, right? Charting is about probabilities. It is not about certainties. There is no certainty in any chart, whether crypto, stocks, or otherwise, that is going to give you a 100% accurate reading on which direction the market is going to go in, right? So if that, first of all, is what you're thinking when you're seeing somebody, so this whole narrative of could go up, could go down, well, for me personally, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as it's my responsibility to show the community both possibilities
Yep.
and the arguments that can be made for both directions so that you, as the viewer, can make an informed decision on which way you think the market's going to go, because I'm not your financial advisor, right? I'm showing you arguments for the upside and arguments for the downside. It's up to you whether you think it's going up or down or not. I can tell you what I think, but you know what opinions are like, right?
Mhm. I,
So,
I, I love that you said that, Rob, because it's the same thing with astrology. Astrology shows the potential and the archetypes, right? And but it not certainties. Why? Because of the free will of people. That's always going to be a factor, right? So it's human choice plays in everything. So I tell people, so when I do readings of general readings for, all of the signs, I tell them this is a general reading. And if you don't like what you hear, right, you have free will.
yep,
So you're able to change in the direction that you wish if you don't like a certain outcome, right? So it's the same thing.
absolutely. I had read a comment, I think this morning, someone said that they had blamed me for them round tripping their bags or something. And it's like, it's the same people when you tell them over and over and over again that you're not their financial advisor and that they need to make their own decisions. And then they say,
Right.
yeah, I know. Listen, I know you're not a financial advisor, but here's my question. And then they blame you when it doesn't. It's like, okay, so then you didn't understand that I'm not your financial advisor when you were saying, yeah, I get you're not
Mhm.
so then you
Right.
weren't listening. Elon Musk says, did you guys see the Metallicus thing with Cynthia Lummis? Yes, actually, Mike, we did actually go through a 49-minute breakdown video today, me, Rue, and Max, that will be released probably next week, breaking that whole thing down. And we actually play Cynthia Lummis's parts in it and stuff like that. So, yes, we broke it down very, very good, very, very well. So, uh,
It,
sorry, go ahead.
it's if I'm sorry, if I could just add, now that you're on the topic of Metallicus, I also wanted to mention about Zebek, that Metallicus and Zebek are both have Pisces energy, and we are in Pisces season. We're both coins are coming up on their anniversary, which is next week, which is why they're going to do that release, right? So it just shows you how they do things intentionally during their energy, during the energy that they're tied to, right? So because they're working with the energy. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's not a coincidence, but it's all tied to the energy, you know?
No, no such thing as a coincidence, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yep. Give me the $1 billion back. Yes, exactly. So what do you think, Moon? What do you think about the direction of the market? Do you think? Do you agree with me, or are you going to be wrong like Rue? No, I'm just kidding.
So, so since the beginning of 2025, according to the energy in the stars, in the constellations, and everything that was going on in the world, and especially in the readings and the cards that I've shown, I said for at the beginning of 2025 that things are going to change. It's going to shift. In other words, what we expect things to happen, it's going to flip totally opposite. So whatever your beliefs are or something, it's going to get completely thrown out the window. And then you have a lot of crypto analysis that swore last year was going to be a bull run, right? Especially for altcoins. And that didn't happen. And because that was the energy across the board, right? And I even told Rue, even this dude, what's his name? Paul, Raul, what?
Raul.
Yeah, there you go. Even said it as well, we were supposed to. But then, I'm going along with, just because I'm learning a lot, right? From a lot of people who are into reading charts and things like that. But then at the same time, that honestly, the energy was showing very differently because of the snake year, right? Last year, we were in a snake year. It's about shedding. It's about getting rid of old versions of ourselves, like the old world. And it was not pointing to, an alt season. But I had hope. But, I'm long term. I'm not here to short the market. I'm here long term because I believe in these projects, right? So that didn't happen, but the energy absolutely was there, right? So as far as right now, to answer your question, I don't think we're going to see any type of upward, like real true upward movement until Uranus gets the hell out of Taurus. Okay, because Taurus, it's about finances, it's about security, money, it's about, commodities, things. It's why everything is happening right now, with the war and stuff like that. I mean, come on. I spoke about this last night. I said, you had the blood moon on the 17th, right? Then the next day you had, I'm sorry?
Oh, we never said anything. Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So you had the blood moon on the 17th. And then the very next day you had the Trump guys, the Trump brothers have a World Liberty Financial Forum the next day in Mar-a-Lago, right? Specifically the day after. They never do anything. They don't do any moves, right? Any major moves the day of a full moon or a new moon, especially if it's an eclipse. Okay. Yeah. Everything is always afterwards. Why? Because in this world of astrology and of in my culture of doing rituals, right, or meditations, however you want to say it, there's certain things that you do and don't do on new moons and on full moons, right? Anyway, so they had that, and then that was the 18th. 10 days later, you have the planetary alignment, the sixth planetary alignment on the 28th, and that was the day that they went to war. On the planetary alignment. And I also showed on my show that I got Alchemy's numbers. I ran his numbers, and it was to the T. The chart showed it. It was exactly an amazing, the perfect time for them to do what they did to him and bring all of this about. Okay, so this is why I have a very strong, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, guys, but I don't think crypto is not going to really show its true value until Taurus, pardon me, Uranus moves and transits out of Taurus and into Gemini. And that's late April, and then we'll be in the clear, because by April, that'll be the second quarter, and then certain other alignments are going to happen and take place, and then it looks a lot more feasible towards the end of the year, according to the charts. But like I said, I could be wrong, but it points to it. It's just really, the energies are very, very strong for that time. But like I said, we'll see.
Well,
Next week is definitely a very powerful week, though.
That also corresponds with when they're doing the XRP conference and when officially they said the Clarity Act should be done. Like, besides what Cynthia said a couple days ago, originally Brad Garlinghouse and Brian Armstrong said by the end of April.
Which, by the way, right, the conference is April 30th, right?
Yep.
So I just ran the number. April 30th comes out to an 8 universal day for XRP, which is an 8 coin. I mean, they know what they're doing. So this is all about learning. Well, for me, right, it's all about understanding how the energy works and having it work for me instead of against me, right? Because if I allow it to work against me, I'm not being my own best friend, so, and it has a lot to do with like aligning and doing the inner work and, all of that spirituality, because we are in a huge shift. This is a time where we are shifting timelines, the earth, the collective, the money system. We're living honestly in a time that we have not seen, okay, in such a way that everyone across the board is going to feel it. And I honestly believe that we do have a very unique opportunity to make some money off of this,
Honestly, when you
and
say
not
that,
be left behind,
it makes me-
be left behind, because that's the whole thing. What if you hear the way they talk and what they're saying? Oh, the banks are fighting against the Clarity Act because they don't want us to get rich. The banks want to have like all the power. They want all the, they want the whole wording to be able to benefit from this huge flip of the switch going into, full blockchain, and nothing for us. So we really need to position ourselves in a way like, what? I think we're on the right side. We're in the, what is it? 5% of all the population is only invested into crypto. And they're fighting against the 5%. Imagine how greedy these bastards are, so.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while now, that as soon as they're finished with the yield process, the yield battle on stablecoins, they're going to go after custody for sure. That's their next thing. They're going to say, we need to custody everybody's crypto so that we can take out loans against your crypto, just like we do against your money, lend it out, give you crap yield, and then we'll charge people, big interest rates on crypto-backed loans. That's exactly what they'll do, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
What do we got? Venom. Venom has been buying the heck out of Smooth Love Potion. What are you buying Smooth Love Potion for? Isn't Smooth
Jeez.
isn't Smooth Love Potion a token inside of a Web3 gaming project?
Yeah, I think it's like Axie Infinity or something like that.
It's on Ronin. So
Yeah.
it's something like that. Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was like, why are you buying that? But
Well,
I mean, hey,
this is I think anything gaming, anything that has to do with gaming, and if you're early to it, listen, invest in it. It's gonna be amazing. It's
well,
gonna be so lucrative.
that's another thing I've been telling people for a couple of years now is that people are sleeping on Web3 gaming, especially because of the last cycle that we just left. It got beat up, right?
Yeah,
But people need to understand something. Even if you don't play video games yourself, gaming is America's favorite pastime. I know that people think it's still like baseball or whatever. That's like a saying from like the 80s, okay? Video games are literally, look it up. The majority of Americans play video games, right? When it is the most popular thing, and that's just in the United States, think globally, right? I mean, guys, it might not happen immediately, but it will happen eventually, right?
yeah.
So,
And I don't listen, and I'm not about doom and gloom, but I'll be very real. You're hearing, especially if y'all had watched the latest World Economic Forum, right? Well, Elon and all these people were on there, and they were talking about how AI is going to replace millions of jobs, right? So what are these people going to do? Because it's a serious problem. The ones that are going to be that don't want to get into a trade, right? Because that's what I'm always promoting. Like, get into a trade. They need like all of these people, plumbers. They need electricians, all of this and that stuff. So, but then what about the other? The other people that don't want to get into trade? Their thing is being computer geeks. So if they don't innovate and find a way to be relevant, a lot of people are going to be out of work, right? So then who was it that said, like, you know what, well, we're going to have to just keep them, like, in other words, I'm paraphrasing, keep them sedated somehow, and that's like, they're going to get into gaming, they're going to get into virtual reality,
yep,
and all of that, it's going to make money because that's where they're going to be, they're going to present universal basic high income, as Elon was saying, so there's going to be a group of people that's going to, fall under that. And there's money to be, it's sad, but then on the other side, there's money to be made too. So you think gaming is big now, just wait, when we hit that phase.
yep, exactly. I literally, when I'm doing my research and stuff like that, my crypto research, and I'm listening to things, I'm reading things, I literally am playing World of Warcraft at the same time. It's all the time. So even me, like everyone, everyone plays games.
Mhm.
Uh, tell that to the Miria haters. I'm gaming right now. uh, nice. Keep
Yeah,
them
all
locked.
my kids are gamers, but it's because of mom. Mom was a gamer from back in the day. So, I created gamers.
Venom. Why? Tell me why specifically you chose Smooth Love Potion. Is there something going on that I haven't heard? Don't like I haven't done any research in like 4 years into Smooth Love Potion, but is there something relevant that's caused you to FOMO or buy as much as you have? Let us know in the chat, man, because I'm curious to know what's got you revved up here. Playing the new John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos. Nice. There you go. There you go. So we've established Rue, and by the way, I did not pay her to say that. Uh, so two of us think it's going down. Rue, you're probably going to be right. Right? So, yeah. So we're just about out of time, guys. I'm going to put Mooney's channel back up here. Just give me a second to pull it up. And Root, when's your next live stream? Are you going live tonight or?
Not tonight, but probably sometime tomorrow. But definitely, guys, come over and check out the video I did. Zebek, basically Zebek news in under 4 minutes. Quick, nice little video for people to check out.
Zebek in under 4 minutes. Man, I don't know if I could do a video in 4 minutes. Must have been in a hurry, man.
Rue's a pro. Let me tell you, when you got to get the information, he's just straight, cutting straight to the business.
Yeah, I needed something for Gen Z because us people, we can sit down and do a video that's longer than 4 minutes, but Gen Z,
Yeah,
they can't do it.
That's why I make the TikToks. Right?
Right?
That's why I make the TikToks.
I make short little TikToks. I did do like a 10-minute TikTok last night or this morning, just talking about how I used to think that the accredited investor program was a big scam because the reason they said it existed was because the average retail investor was not mentally and emotionally mature enough to handle high volatility and high risk trades. And I thought, oh, that's a bunch of malarkey. And then I got into crypto and started following Crypto X. And now I 100% agree that the average investor is not emotionally or mentally mature enough for high volatility investing. It is insane. Like I said, people will tell you, I understand you're not a financial advisor, and then as soon as the market doesn't do what you thought it was, they freak out and blame you, right?
Yeah.
So, Yep. They don't have the patience or the fortitude or any of that.
Yeah, I always tell people, look, if you're getting into crypto, you need to have an 8-year mindset. I don't know anyone, including myself, who made life-changing wealth for themselves in crypto in less than 2 cycles. Everyone I know who made life-changing wealth, it took them up to 8 years, at least 2 full cycles to make that money, right? But for some reason, these new people get indoctrinated into crypto thinking that in 6 months they're going to be multimillionaires and leave the world they know behind. I don't understand it, right? This is allow time.
That's a pipe dream.
Yes, allow time for your investments to mature. They're going to, in the time that your investments are trying to mature, guess what? They're going to go down a lot, but then they're going to go up a lot, right? So,
and really, social media has made this this thought with crypto, whereas like you just shift markets and you look at the stock market, and somebody's willing to wait 40 years for like a Roth IRA or a mutual fund or a CD, and it's like. Crypto, you can't do a cycle. You can't do 4 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's a long game, and I blame a lot of also influencers that just hype it up, because they show, hey, I got this and I got that, and they sell the illusion, but it's only, they do it for the money. But then at the same time, it's like, you shouldn't have all your money in crypto. First of all, you need to have a diverse portfolio. Invest what you can at the, if you're gonna go long, then you're better off. But shorting the market, there's people that make money and others that don't. That's not my game. I'd be terrible. I'd be broke tomorrow. If I play the short game, I'd be so broke tomorrow. Those are people who got money to burn, know. But I say diverse your portfolio. Like I said, we're definitely going into an age where it's going to present an amazing investment opportunity for everyone, especially when you get into tokenizing your freaking assets, like your home, your real estate. And then you're able to freaking like make money off of tokenizing your own home. You know, if you understand, now it's like learning. You have to learn the game right now. So then when we're fully integrated, then you're able to make money even more off of your investment, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is definitely find a community, whether it's mine, Rue's, Moon's. Moon, I don't know if you have a private community yet or not, but joining these private communities, guys, like our Patreon, for example, we're constantly educating people. We're putting out educational videos. We're doing group live calls and stuff like that, so people can learn from everybody's experiences and stuff in crypto. Guys, there is no scenario where you gain experience, knowledge, and wisdom to navigate this space by yourself or for free, right? You have to invest in your education when it
That's
comes
right.
to this space, the same way you would invest in your education in any other field you want to be successful in. Too many people out there want free education, or they just want someone to tell them, buy this here and sell it here. That's not the way that it works, right?
That's right.
Invest in your education so that you don't need to rely on somebody else.
Right. Takes money to make money.
Yes,
Indeed.
exactly. Right? Like we literally charge the price of a cup of coffee to learn how to trade and learn how to do all of these things and get educated to navigate the space. And people are like, well, that's too much money. You're like, literally, if I walked up to you sitting at Starbucks today and said, hey, man, I will teach you how to be successful in this space, how to make money over time. And I just want you to come here, meet me, and buy me a coffee every day. Would you buy me a coffee? You'd be a fool not to. Right? It's a coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people, so yeah, it's very, very important. Jetpack, what's up, buddy? I bought 5% of the floor of 200 meters just in case. Nice. Jetpack says they even have a 2K water heater called ASIC that mines Bitcoin while you shower. I would just buy Bitcoin. Yeah.
What? Really? That's wild.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just in the shower all day. Getting
That's
paid.
wild. Your water bill will be crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this concludes our broadcast day, guys. Make sure you go subscribe to Mooniverse. I am subscribed there, and I highly recommend you do too. Moon, we would love to have you on again anytime. You are welcome on the Blockchain Buzz. It's great to have you.
Absolutely.
Rue, man, we don't talk enough, brother. We don't talk enough.
It was a pleasure. It was such a pleasure. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Everyone is so engaging, amazing community. Love your energy, Rob. Rue, you know how we do. It's like I started my first crypto show with Rue, on the Mooniverse. So, and I wasn't trying to do a thing, and it just came out to be a thing. So, yeah, we just go with the flow. We go with the flow. It's always great energy, wonderful energy tonight. I loved it, guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming down and supporting. I know we've been gone for 2 weeks. We will be back again next Saturday for Blockchain Buzz episode 18. So make sure you're here. And until then, God bless.
Bye, guys.